Hey, this is Jay, bringing you some advanced warfare. I'm not going to talk about this gameplay at all. Instead, I wanted to explain to you guys why I own firearms. So I did a video last week showing you guys my man cave. At the end of that video, I showed you that I owned several firearms, and I said in that video that if you wanted to know why I owned them, I'd do another video explaining that. So some of you guys wanted to know, and here is that video. Now I want to be careful, I want to tread lightly here because this is a controversial topic, especially in our day and age. I know some of you guys are from outside the US and there are no, people do not own firearms, and a lot of you guys see all what happens with firearms and you're like, you have this negative view on them, and I totally understand that. I grew up in a suburb of Chicago where somebody gets shot every day, and it probably, if I would have grown up and stayed in Chicago, I would have a totally different view of firearms than I do today. But I ended up moving to Ohio, and Ohio, the place where I live, a lot of people own firearms, and just kind of my experiences with them totally changed that. So I want to share why I do own firearms. All right, so first of all, I have firearms because I enjoy shooting them. All right, flashback to when I was in high school, my best friend at the time says, "Hey, do you want to go shooting?" And I'm like, shooting what? Bow and arrow, paintball gun? He's like, "No, my shotgun." And I'm like, what? And I'm like, okay. So we drive to this firing range at this conservation lake. And first of all, I'm dumbfounded. Remember, I'm from Illinois. My family does not own firearms. I've never even thought about owning a firearm. And here this guy has a firearm, has a shotgun, and his parents let him take it out by himself. And we go to this firing range and end up shooting it. But I tell you what, I had a blast doing it. We were shooting milk jugs of all things, and it was just really fun. So I had a lot of fun, and it really started to change how I viewed firearms. Now I think of firearms and being able to shoot them as a valuable skill. I mean, watch a 3-gun competition, and it's pretty interesting, pretty fun. So that's my first reason. Second reason, I own firearms because of the whole entire hunting aspect. I married into a family of hunters. They're always going out. My father-in-law, my brother-in-law, they're always going out killing deer or shooting other types of little vermits, cooking them, or actually they have to clean them, process them, and then cooking them, and then they're always giving it to me to try out. And I'm a very picky eater, so when I first moved into this family, it was very weird. I mean, they grow a lot of vegetables and they hunt, so they're very self-sustaining, or they could be self-sustaining. If you ever watch the show Alaska or any of those Alaskan shows, you see how firearms help them with their way of life, and without a firearm they could not have that way of life. So once again, I see owning a firearm and being able to hunt as a very valuable skill. Now, I don't really particularly like hunting because I don't like ripping the guts out of animals and everything like that. But if push came to shove, if something really bad happened and I had to, I know it's something that I could do and I am prepared. So that's my second reason. Now, another reason that I own a firearm, and this is actually the reason that I first purchased my first shotgun, and that is for the simple fact of protection. Back when the economy started tanking, I work at my local municipality, and I hear a lot of the stories of people getting broken into, and I started thinking, what if somebody broke into my house? And I started talking to one of the police officers, and he said, "You ever think about getting some kind of firearm to protect yourself?" And I was like, I hadn't really thought about it at that time, but I started to think about it, and I'm like, yeah, probably makes sense. I mean, if somebody breaks into your house, all right, I don't know anybody that wouldn't grab a baseball bat, a golf club, a kitchen knife, or something like that to protect their family in case somebody happened to threaten their family. The way I look at it is a shotgun is just a better deterrent, or a bigger stick to carry in order to actually protect your family. So that's why I bought my first firearm. I bought my second firearm, which was a handgun, because I was out on vacation with my family at a public restroom, and nothing good ever happens at a public restroom. But as I was coming out with my son, a guy pulled a knife and started kind of going crazy with it. Now, nothing happened, nobody got killed, and the guy stopped and everything like that, but I was like, holy smokes, what would have happened if that guy came out? My wife and my daughter were still in the bathroom. I was scared that they were going to come out, and it just kind of freaked me out. Now, I didn't have my shotgun available because that was at home, so I decided to purchase a handgun to take with me just in case. Now, I don't want to ever shoot anybody. My prayer is that I never shoot anybody. I don't think there's anything glorious about shooting anybody or anything like that. But if my family was threatened, not even so much myself. If myself, I'm not worried about that. But if my family was threatened, I want to be prepared. So sometimes I conceal carry and carry a pistol with me. Now, I've tried to actually get my wife to get her concealed carry because sometimes she goes to work and she's the only one at the place where she works. And not too long ago, a couple years ago, somebody actually held up a place in my town and ended up shooting one of the clerks at the place where he was holding up. So my wish was, I was pretty much hoping that my wife would get a firearm and do that. But her thinking was she doesn't want to do that because, first of all, she never wants to take a life, which I can totally respect that. And the second reason is she's scared that if she owns a firearm, it's just going to escalate the situation. So I totally understand where she's coming from. A lot of people share that view. And it's kind of interesting because she's from that family that has a lot of firearms, but she doesn't want one. And I've come to respect that and everything like that. I think it's kind of interesting, though. The one time that I was actually away for a weekend, somebody was creeping around our house and she grabbed our kids and grabbed my firearm and actually went into the bedroom with them and kind of held up in there. So, you know, even though she might not want to own a firearm, it's something that she did turn to as a tool for protection. So that is my third reason for owning a firearm. And my last reason is one that I'm sure you guys can all relate with. You know, what happens when the zombies come? All right. Guys, if you don't have a firearm, you're not going to be prepared. You know, you're going to want to know me if the zombies come. I'm going to be a big asset to you. All right, obviously, I'm kidding here. I don't think zombies are ever going to come, but I kind of wanted to end this with a lighter note because this is such a serious topic. And there's a lot of different points of view, and I don't want you to miss that. This is my point of view. A lot of times, what you believe, it comes from the culture that you're born in and what you see on the news. I mean, we always see the bad things about firearms where people are shooting people, kids are shooting kids and everything like that. And that is unfortunately a negative about firearms. But, you know, hopefully I've shown you some positives about them. I am a big proponent of gun safety. I mean, if you own a firearm, I hope you keep it well secured so that kids can't get into them and everything. There's a lot of dangers that come from that. I'm pretty comfortable with all my kids because I've taught them about that, but I know that they might want to show off with their friends or a friend might come over, so I keep my guns secured. I'm very big on that. And I'm also very big on background checks. I don't think we do a good enough job in the United States with background checks. In Ohio, we just changed it and kind of upped our background checks, so I'm excited to see that. But let me know what you guys think about firearms. This is where I'm going to end it. If you want to know anything else or if you have any other questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. But guys, as always, take care and God bless.